Solo traveler Sophie from the channel Sophie on a Summit ventured deep into the Scottish Highlands, trekking 14 kilometers toward the remote Ben Alder Cottage, a structure infamous for its dark, gruesome folklore.
So, just going to do you a quick update. We are just a little over halfway now, so we are getting through the walk pretty well. Watch is saying 7.8 kilometres, 2 hours 23. So the full hike in itself from the car park at Rannoch Lodge is 14 kilometres or 8.5 miles. So yeah, not bad. Very steady terrain underfoot, not much incline, just very steady away. Very much like this really. Nice track as we're moving through. Just a range of forest and open space with mountain views, so very scenic. It's a little bit cloudy and windy, but it's dry, so that's the main thing, isn't it? So a bit of sunshine won't go amiss, but it does keep coming out from the clouds, but it just doesn't stay. So we're going to be having a short break soon at the lock, so get a hot chocolate and some sandwiches, which I'm very much looking forward to. I'm not used to carrying this sized bag and it's quite hard work actually, but I'm enjoying doing something a little bit more different. Just kind of hoping that when we get to the bothy nobody's going to be there, but there was another car at the car park, so we may not be that lucky, but it's not a problem. But it's always nice to have the place to yourself, isn't it? So we'll see what happens when we get there.
The trek was grueling but scenic, winding through forests and along the lochside. Sophie reached the isolated stone building, eager to spend her first night in a bothy. Unaware of the tragic tales of starvation and suicide that haunted the site.
My back is eased up, so yeah, very excited to get there now, not long. We've been going for 14.9 kilometres, so Google lied, but we are nearly there now, you'll see it, so I can't wait. So we're just heading down towards the bridge and then we'll be in. No lights or fire on, so that's a good sign. Just very excited to get in, get the bag off my back. This last bit has been particularly challenging, just I'm getting a bit hungry, a bit thirsty. But you know what it's like, you know you're closer, you're like, I just want to get there. So yes, not long now, I'm feeling good now, I've seen it. Keen and excited to go see where I'm going to be sleeping tonight. Obviously it's my first bothy stay, and in a haunted bothy no less, so hopefully we'll get a bit of action, eh? So the lovely Ben Alder Cottage bothy, it does date back to 1871, so it is quite an old building with lots of tales and folklore stories. It was resided in by a shepherd, and the last person to live there was Joseph McCook. He last resided there in 1918. For over 40 years he lived there, and he worked as a deer forester. So I'm very excited to spend my first night in the haunted bothy. There are some tales that I know of in regards to the bothy. One is in relation to a mother who went in there for the night with her child, and she went in there to shelter from the bad weather. Unfortunately, the bad weather continued, and as a result she ate her child. And the other story that I'm aware of is of a gentleman who hung himself just as you go into the bothy. So neither particularly.
She arrived as the sun faded, the atmosphere heavy with history. She settled into the cottage, lighting a fire and sharing a drink, dismissing the chilling local legends as mere stories. She walked through the empty, cavernous rooms, the isolation pressing in from the surrounding wilderness.
As the fire is going, let's have a look at the other rooms. This is the second bedroom. So, some bunk beds in here. There's no fire in this room. It's probably about half the size of the room we're staying in tonight. Okay, and then there's just one more room, which is this one, which does have a fire, and it's pretty big, probably similar size, maybe a little bit bigger. A bit brighter as well. And these are some of the bits that's been left by the previous guests. So I've got some carrots and peas, some pasta, chicken tikka, and some mashed potatoes. November. It was dark and I was getting ready to sleep, and then I heard it, the silent snowfall wailing, echoing from the side of the loch. I took my candle and walked out against my better judgment. A faint silhouette of a child was standing in the water, an ominous glow around it. Shocked, I ran to the bothy and grabbed my bag ready to leave. But the door that was ajar and what was left of my fine sudden fire burnt out. Terrified, I stood in the darkness, waiting for my demise. By the way,
As night took hold, the silence of the forest grew absolute. Sophie recorded a sudden, terrifying account of seeing a ghostly silhouette in the water, only to reveal moments later that she was playing a prank. That's when it happened. But it wasn't.
So my stay at the Ben Alder Cottage bothy is drawing to a close. We've just packed away everything and we are ready to move. The question you're all wondering is probably, is it haunted? And according to the folklore and the stories, yes, it's the most haunted bothy in Scotland. However, from my experience, no, it's not haunted. There's no ghosts or ghouls or crazy stories to tell. It was a very comfortable night. It was lovely. We got the fire going, had some pasta. It was clear and beautiful outside. Because it is so remote, there's no light pollution, so it was absolutely beautiful. So many stars. Didn't see any deer whilst we was here, but we did on the drive in. And I know from reading a lot of the stories, some people have had experiences with deer here, which is lovely. So yeah, it's been a really great stay. Second question is, would I stay in a bothy again? It is obviously my first time. And yes, absolutely, I would. It's been an amazing stay. Really enjoyed it. It's a change from the camper van. It does feel more wild and outdoorsy. I loved having the fire on. It's gone out now, obviously. It's nice to have more space to spread out. In terms of the walk here itself, it's very scenic. Very straightforward, very flat. It's not hard to get to. The scenery is lovely with lots of mountains. You're right on the loch, which you've seen. There's a lovely stream with the running water into the loch. So yeah, it's literally been 10 out of 10. Really enjoy it, would recommend. And I'm really pleased because when we first arrived, it was kind of a bit worse for wear, and I was thinking, oh my God, what have I done here? But once we tidied it up and everything, yeah. Great little home we've made. Kind of sad to be leaving, but hopefully we'll be back and there'll be more bothy stays coming up. So that's it. We'll be leaving now until next time. Final pan round.
Morning light brought relief and she packed her gear, insisting. The night had been peaceful. She left the cottage behind, forever tethered to its dark reputation. Solo traveler Gemini, host of the channel Exploring Gems, sought nothing but peace and solitude within the sprawling, untouched public lands of the Colorado mountains. She traveled with her dog Jem, finding a perfect, silent camp spot miles from civilization.
That was effing brutal, but after about 2 hours of driving, wow. Being alone is often confused with being lonely, but these are two completely separate concepts. I've found that you can be in a room full of people, surrounded by others who don't truly see or understand the real you, and that right there is the loneliest place in the world. Even when being around people I love and connect with, I am so fully present and I soak in the moment so much that returning to my quiet solitude is required for me to feel like me again. This is the third logging truck I've seen this morning. They're cutting down our forests left and right. And I'm on BLM land for the first time, which is rather beautiful. The roads are fairly well maintained, but they're doing lots of logging. And there's lots of areas blocked off that say private property. So they're selling off a lot of the land, and just want to raise awareness for myself and anyone else, because this is our land as tax-paying American citizens, our public lands. It even says it on the signs. Enjoy your public lands. Keep it clean. Just got some work done. Bells. Adorable, truly. Had to have it. This was a local shop in Grand Lake. Because, you know, I love my coffee. Look at this, sweetie pie.
The journey was grueling, defined by rough roads and the heavy reality of logging operations carving up the landscape. Despite the challenges, Gemini found solace in the quiet of the wild, a place where she could finally disconnect from the noise of the world.
Oh, wow, this is so pretty. Left over from logging. Saw like 5 logging trucks just this morning. Like dead brush, okay, I get it, but like cutting down perfectly healthy trees is just like, what are we doing, humans? We gotta wake up. I would describe myself as an inherent introvert who's also very extroverted at times. But after being around large groups of people or intense loud noises or energy, I really need that time to recharge. And I rather enjoy my own company and feel most safe when in the comfort of my own space. Starting in childhood, I had a huge personality, very goofy and silly, dancing and singing, talking in accents, and this would often lead others to feel lighthearted in my presence. It was a way to help me feel accepted and loved throughout life. I had a big imagination that always wanted to talk and tell stories and be heard. And that got me into trouble sometimes in school, and I would often be punished to my room.
She spent her days reveling in the freedom of her van life existence. Her creative spirit thrived in the isolation, and for a few days the camp felt like a sanctuary, a private world shared only with her dog.
I had just found one of the most stunning camp spots I've ever been to. Miles of untouched public land, mountain views, peace and silence. It felt like freedom. Sure, there was the usual trash scattered around. There always is, unfortunately. But other than that, it was perfect. Just me and Jem, completely alone. For a couple of days, it stayed that way. Only the occasional logging truck passed by, and then we'd go back to our quiet little world. But by the weekend, more people started showing up. On our way back from our hike earlier that day, 3 blacked out trucks came rumbling up the road. I stepped aside with Jem, gave a polite wave as they passed, and didn't think much of it. But that moment would end up leading to the scariest night I've ever had on the road. That evening, as the sun started to set, the same group started tearing up and down the road in their quads. Loud and obnoxious, yes, but harmless. At least at first.
The tranquility broke when a group of men in blacked-out trucks arrived, tearing through the quiet with loud quads. As night fell, Jem and I locked her van and tried to sleep, hoping the intrusion would remain harmless.
Midnight, just as I started to drift off, 3 loud knocks right at my sliding door glass. Someone just came knocking on my door in the middle of the national forest, so... So not cool. So not cool. I froze. My heart stopped. I grabbed my phone to check the security cameras, but of course, it hadn't been plugged in. I peeked out through my bunk window cover. I couldn't see a thing. And those motion sensor lights I still hadn't installed, well, they're sitting right there on my dash. Regret hit hard in that moment. Then I noticed a faint glow up the hill and realized it was a fire, where the trucks from earlier had parked, during an active level 1 fire ban, mind you. And that's when it clicked. These weren't the kind of people you want to cross paths with in the middle of nowhere. So I just sat there, listening. Every sound outside felt amplified. For the next couple of hours, I barely moved. I watched, waited, and checked the cameras over and over. I felt like my heart didn't stop racing until the first hint of daylight. But they never came back, thankfully, so I drifted off back to sleep. By morning, I packed up and we drove deeper into the forest. Still a bit shaky, but grateful that nothing worse had happened. That night reminded me that van life isn't always sunsets and freedom. Sometimes it's fear in the dark and learning to trust your instincts. But even after the scariest night, I still wouldn't trade this life for anything. All right, here we go.
Then, a series of deliberate, heavy knocks struck her sliding door glass at midnight. She froze in the dark, realization dawning that she was being targeted.
Was pretty shook up for a couple of hours. I knew I was fine. And if it repeated, then I would have had to take action, but it didn't. They didn't come back. And I saw the little idiots this morning, and I'm pretty sure it was them, and most of them were leaving. So we're just driving deeper into this pass. There's about an hour and 35 minutes worth of road until you get to Vale. So I'm gonna try to find a spot to camp tonight, and then we're gonna go into Vale tomorrow. We're here, Mama. I can't help but feel frustrated knowing that if I were a man or with one, that they likely would not have done this. And to be clear, this didn't happen because solo females shouldn't camp alone. This happened because some people have lost their general respect of other people, their space, and their personal property. At the time you're seeing this footage, it's been 3 months since the incident, and I still move differently to this day. I'm not afraid, but I am more cautious. While this won't stop me from solo traveling, it has definitely made me hyper aware of who comes around while I'm camping in the wild. And it has led me to take more precautions in regards to visibility. With all of this being shared, it's important to note that this incident is not the norm throughout this full-time travel journey for me. Nothing like this has happened since, but if it does, I am confident that I can handle whatever comes my way by trusting my gut. Mine and Jem's safety will always be first priority. And one of the best parts of this home on wheels era is that if we ever feel...
She survived the night, though the incident left her hyper-aware and forever cautious. Solo traveler and van lifer, the host of Nomadic Introvert, sought a quiet place to nap during Labor Day weekend. She pulled into an empty, secluded parking lot, seeking nothing but a moment of peace after a long morning run.
The perfect place to relax for the day because all of my other spots that I like to go to were filled with people. I found this empty parking lot. Nobody was here. It was in a pretty populated area, so I didn't think nothing of it when I parked by a nice big bush. Again, I didn't think nothing of it. It was just me. So I pulled in and I parked by this very same bush that you're looking at. As you can tell, it was nice and breezy outside, and I just knew I was going to get me a lot of sleep. So I prepared to take a nap. Like any other time where I'm in a new area, I don't take all my pillows off of my bed. I just put one pillow down. I crack the window to get that nice little breeze, and I left my curtains open so that I can see out of my front windshield in the event that I feel like something is up. So, thinking nothing of it, I lay down to take a nap because that morning I ran 3.5 miles and my legs were exhausted. While I was laying there, something told me to get up. It wasn't because I heard a noise or anything. It was just like a gut feeling, like, get up, look outside. And that's what I did.
She parked by a large bush, leaving her windows cracked for the breeze. Exhausted, she drifted off. But a sudden, inexplicable gut feeling jolted her awake.
And when I looked outside, I saw a white male approaching my van, headed straight towards my passenger side, and proceeded to walk around the back of my van and towards the driver's side door. And as he slowly approached the driver's side door, I hopped back, I shut the side window, I hopped in the front, I locked the additional driver's side lock just in time. No sooner after I locked it, he grabbed the driver's side handle and began to violently shake it, trying to open my door.
Peering through her windshield, she saw a man approaching her van with a cold, vacant look in his eyes. He moved with calculated intent toward her driver's side door. She lunged into the front seat, locking the deadbolt just seconds before he began violently shaking the handle.
Shaking my driver's side door handle. So what happened next? After I locked the interior lock, literally when I locked it and backed up, he grabbed the handle and started to try to open my door. Now, were my doors locked? I can't tell you, fam. That's the first mistake. I always lock my door when I park, whether I'm in a place where I know the area or whether I'm in a place where I don't know the area. The first thing I do when I cut my engine is lock the door. What happened was when he was shaking the handle, when I ran up to lock the additional interior lock, then he started shaking the handle. I looked at my dashboard and I didn't see that red light blinking, which indicated to me that all the doors were locked. Because when I lock my door, I always look at the dashboard and it'll be a little blinking red light that says, hey, everything is secured. I remember after locking that additional locking, backing up, as I was backing up, I looked at the dashboard and I did not see that red light flashing, which means I don't think I locked the doors. So when I didn't see that red light flashing, I wasn't sure. So I backed up to look for my key. I went to this table right here, and it was shut. It was closed. And I was like, crap, because that's where I normally put my key. I always put my key there, with the exception of that day, me breaking character. That's the second time I broke character. The first time I broke character is when I didn't see that red light flashing on the dashboard, which indicates all the doors were locked. So I know for a fact I didn't hit that lock button. So as he's violently shaking my door handle, I'm looking for my key because it's not where I normally put it. So I'm looking. It took about 8 seconds, throwing stuff. I found the key on top of the green container. And the only reason why I couldn't see it because my Yeti strap was covering it, and I had threw this top, which I was wearing. Yeah, I've been wearing this thing for like 3 days. I threw this top on top of the key. And it just, so when I grabbed the key, finally found it, I grabbed the key. As I jumped in the front seat, he was still shaking the door handle trying to get in. I jumped in the front seat, and before I sat down, it was like one motion. I jumped, put the key in ignition, turned it, and sat down. Once I cranked up my van, he stopped shaking my driver's side handle. Which means...
Trapped and scrambling, she realized she had broken her own safety rules. In her panic, she couldn't find her keys, frantically throwing gear aside while the stranger continued to assault her door. Daylight.
Noises. My side window was open. I didn't hear nothing. Something just told me get up. And it wasn't something. It was God. God was like, get up. Go look out, my child, you put yourself in a bad position. Go look out your windshield and see this crazy guy coming toward your van trying to get in. And I keep asking myself, what if I panicked when I saw him coming around? And what if I panicked and went to grab the key instead of locking that second internal lock? I don't know what made me do it. Because when I looked out the window and I saw him coming, he kept right up on my van, and he walked around. I could see his shadow, because it was a sunny day. It was broad daylight. I could see his shadow walking, and I was like, oh crap, he's walking around my van. And so then I ran to the window. The first thing I did was I ran to the window, and I could see his shadow coming up the side of my van because it was sunny out. I could see it on the ground. I slammed the window shut, and as I slammed the window shut, I jumped in the front and locked that internal second lock. I don't know what made me do that. Because like I said, I don't think that door was locked. But because I locked that second internal lock, the door was not opening. It was a deadbolt right through my door. You're not opening it. You can violently shake, it's not opening. That was God, because had I just slammed, I keep playing in my head, what if I would have just shut the window and went to find my key? And the time it would have took me to find the key, he would have opened that door and he would have been in this van. So, what if? And it's been just eating away at me.
Reflecting on the terrifying close call, she realized how quickly a simple nap could have turned into a life-altering tragedy had she not listened to that divine intuition.
Because I tell you what, it will never happen again. Meaning I will never break character. I can't say that someone won't attempt to break in my van again, but what I can say for a fact, 100% certainty, I will never break character again. I will never park in an empty parking lot by myself, especially if I don't know the area, and even if I do, I'm not doing it. I will always put my key where I normally put it and never put it somewhere different. And I will always, the first thing I will do before when I shut my van off is always lock the door. I did it. I always locked the door except that one day. But God was working through me, because I tell you what, I slammed that window and jumped right up there and hit that lock and locked it. Oh my gosh, I just feel it like here and in my gut. You just let this be a lesson. Even if you don't live in a van and you live in sticks and bricks, male or woman, young, old, whatever, always lock your door. Even if you just pull up to a grocery store and you just need a minute to get your stuff together, or need a minute to get your grocery list, or you pull up to your house, you just need a minute to decompress from work before you go in anywhere. Make sure your doors are locked, because all it takes is a split second for someone to open that door, and then you're in the fight of your life. So I'm gonna make some fried rice, and I'm gonna be adding bacon. Look at that thick cut, what is this? Smoked bacon, shrimp, green onions, and some jalapenos, and coconut jasmine rice. So that's what we're gonna be cooking up right now. I had some, a little bit of leftover sausage in the fridge that I forgot I had. I cut it up and added it to this as well. So sausage and bacon. It's beef sausage, pork bacon. Now I'm gonna add the green onions and jalapenos. Add a little onion salt. And garlic powder. That's what it's looking like so far. Let that bacon get a little more crispier. I'm gonna add the shrimp, and shrimp don't take long to cook. Let that bacon grease and all that cook this shrimp up. Well, that looks so good. I drained the grease, and now we're gonna add the rice and season it a little bit more. We're gonna add a little bit more of this maple molasses seasoning. Here are the finished results. This is shrimp, beef sausage, pork bacon, coconut rice, and then you guys saw the seasonings I put in it. Oh, and it's also jalapeno, green onion. So I wish I had some mayo, a little bit of mayo on top, like Korean mayo. Oh, it would have been perfect. Have that bite right there. First bite goes to you. My turn. This is so good. Chunks of bacon, shrimp, sausage. And I swear, fam, I think you guys are selling out the coconut rice in Kroger and Meijer. I went to go buy some coconut rice yesterday. There was only 1 pack. Before I told you guys about coconut rice, there was always coconut rice. No one would ever buy it. Fam, can y'all save me some coconut rice? Please, I love coconut rice. There was only 1 pack, and I couldn't find anything at Meijer and 1 pack at Kroger. The jalapenos is real, it's a nice touch, and the green onions too. It's been a rough week, family. But at the end of the day, I survived. I survived. Good morning. I forgot to peace you guys out yesterday. I just ate and laid down and tried to get some rest. I got a decent amount of sleep. Not good still, but it'll get better. I am starting the day off late from where I'm at. Usually I'm gone from wherever I sleep, but it's almost 7 o'clock. It's 6:50. Before I go, let me show you the house. Let me show you the coach battery. I have not cranked up my van. I have not cranked up the generator, and I just kind of want to show you guys what that is looking like. It has been really hot in Michigan these last several days, and it's been really difficult to sleep at night because I am trying to stealth camp. I don't want to use my generator and cause attention to myself at night, so I have been using my fan, but man, it has been pretty hot. Let me show you what the generator is looking like. The generator is at 12.3 volts. So it survived the night. Not the generator. Sorry, I'm tired. The coach battery is sitting at 12.3 volts. It survived the night. I did not have to turn on my generator. I did not have to crank up my van. So the battery's looking good. As you can see, I still put on the auto generator function, which is why that button is lit up orange and the rest are not, because I just want to make sure that in the event that my generator drops to 12.1 volts, that the generator will automatically start, charge it to 13 volts, and then cut off. I don't want that. I don't want the coach battery to drop below 12 volts because it starts to damage the longevity of the battery. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Learn from my mistake. I'm not trying to victim blame myself, but I am a part of why that guy attempted to break into my car, because, you know, I parked in an empty parking lot alone, and I contributed to that. So just learn from my mistakes and try your best to think ahead of these criminals, because these criminals don't care. They want what you have, and it's not even about what you have. They could not only take what you have, they could do harm to you in the process. Be safe out there, and I'm out. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys in my next video. Take care. Peace.
She walked away from the experience shaken but wiser, vowing to never again compromise her security protocols. Solo traveler and bus lifer Regretless ventured into the rough, unforgiving terrain of Northwest Texas. Relying on the Harvest Host network, she hoped for a peaceful night behind a local business. But the situation quickly turned sour as the environment proved hostile.
Okay, so we've arrived, not typically where I like to park. We're just behind this business here. They have a little grassy spot. We're kind of in the middle of this downtown, small town-ish. It's kind of big. But we're at a Harvest Host, and it's right across the street from a laundromat. It was right down the street from a Planet Fitness and groceries. So I thought this is the spot to just park for the night, unwind, get some laundry done, support a small business, and then tomorrow we're going to have a trek. I want to get all the way to East Texas, past Dallas. So, and hopefully we can land at a beautiful winery there, also a Harvest Host. Texas, it gets a lot harder to boondock and really beautiful landscapes. So I decided to go the Harvest Host route and support small business, and it's just nice. So it'll be a nice little change of pace. So Rio and I are going to go walk around town a little bit and see if we can find this laundromat. So I literally just took Rio outside to go walk around the block to check out the laundromat, and I'm already getting catcalled. It's so frustrating, especially now. The way I'm traveling, it's just like, ugh.
makes me feel uneasy. I just hate cities, urban areas. And I now, oh, Rio, come on. Gotta pack a little, oh, nope. This way. I just had to walk around the block the other way to prevent the guy who was catcalling me from continuing to follow me, and I didn't want him to know where the bus was and that I was living in it, because I'm just behind this business, you know, like, it's nice to be on private property, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, this isn't, like, yeah, it's still just me out here. And then the pack of, like, the small little dogs that wanted to chase after Rio, so had to go back around the block. Luckily, the guy wasn't there anymore.
While walking her dog Rio, she was immediately targeted by catcallers. She felt exposed and vulnerable, acutely aware that as a solo woman, she lacked the safety buffer she once had traveling with a man locked inside her bus.
Right there. What is not shown is my small mental breakdown. I was so angry that some man had the audacity to follow me and infringe upon my boundaries. I was angry that as a solo woman, I don't have the same right to safety as when I traveled with a man. I cried out of pure frustration. I looked around the area to find other camping. The only other options had sketchy reviews by fellow nomads. All I wanted to do was get the hell out of there. But I knew the best thing was to draw as little attention to me as possible and just lay low. So I sent my coordinates to a close friend so they knew where I was, locked myself in, and tried to block out the noise coming from the bar I was parked behind. I was stressed, angry, but more prepared to protect myself than ever. Intuition is by far the best weapon you can have when being a solo female nomad.
It sucks to not feel super safe and secure where you're parked, but that's the reality of bus life, and God forbid anything happens. I'm confident in my ability to react to things, but I think really I just need to hunker down, cut my losses, and then get out of here first thing in the morning and hopefully find somewhere much more beautiful and relaxing. You know, it's always good to listen to your intuition, and it just sucks when it's been like the alarm has been rung of like, maybe this isn't such a great spot. But I looked around, there's really nothing else. The crime is pretty high in this area, so I'm just gonna deal with it. We're gonna make the most of it. Again, I made chicken nuggets, so life is good. And I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning.
She suffered a quiet mental breakdown. She hunkered down, relying on her intuition as her only weapon while noise from a nearby bar echoed outside.
We're gonna stop at a tire shop on our way to a winery in Tyler, Texas, just because my front tire is really bad and I don't want to wait for something bad to happen. I'm just gonna get out ahead of it, replace it, and then hopefully the next Harvest Host will be much more peaceful, relaxed. Rio can have a good time just romping around in the winery. So yeah, let's go.
Back home on the road. This is where I feel safest. The world becomes mine and my mind begins to flow. It's almost a form of meditation, therapy even for me. I stopped to get my new tire, which made me feel more confident about the journey ahead. I even had a dream it popped, so I wasn't taking any chances. With every mile that morning, I felt more at ease. It's crazy, the contrast I can experience in one day living in the bus. Waking up in a dark, sketchy place to driving through the peaceful countryside. It feels good knowing I'm closer to where I need to be.
We made it to this adorable little winery. Rio has this whole yard to run around in by herself. I think I'm the only one here, so I'm gonna go get a glass of wine
eat something and just exhale. Guys, it just got dark out, but look how cute this winery is. Look! All the vines are lit up. How cute! Looks like a little galaxy out there, right out the front door. Good morning, guys. I woke up at this winery, still all to myself. It's a little bit of a tough morning, but I'm sure, as a lot of you know, any of you who are going through a change or a loss or just a new season in life, I'm there with you. So the rain seemed to give me permission to feel blue. Today, my spirit needed to grieve. It's so easy to identify with being strong, empowered, but not to identify with being heartbroken or feeling broken or sad. Denying the wounds denies a very important piece of the journey. And to deny it will only create more suffering down the line. As Trevor Hall beautifully said, you can't rush your healing. Darkness has its teachings. So today, I allow myself to grieve and I honor the pain in my journey. For I'm stronger and wiser for having gone through it. So be it.
Morning brought relief. After replacing a worn tire, she fled toward a scenic, empty winery. Solo adventurer Wild Bliss Bunny embarked on an unconventional challenge: stealth camping in a cemetery. Navigating a landscape of monuments and shadows, she faced constant tension as she tried to slip onto the property unnoticed.
All right, let's try to be very incognito and go peek. Yeah, there they are. Let's walk in the opposite direction.
Hello. It's okay. It's okay. Hi. You're okay. You're okay. See? It's okay. That's okay. It's okay. You're okay.
There's this patch of woods that's particularly interesting. Right over there is interesting, but it's actually not going to work out because that guy with his dog looks like he was doing some type of work, and they're around here, so I can't be around here except it's interesting in here. I think I'm going to go in. Wow, there's like this kind of opening right here that I think would work out. Wow, so I found this great spot. There's a clearing and I think it's enough space to fit my tent. The main problem is that guy with his dog. If they go walking by, that dog is gonna bark at me. And they were just really close by here, so that's a real possibility that he could walk by, but I'm almost thinking of trying to just set up my tent here. The trekking pole, No, it's a trekking pole tent, and the trekking pole is in my car, so that's not quite gonna work out. I'm actually gonna have to go get my stuff, or at least go back and get the trekking pole, and then come back here, and then go back and get the rest of my stuff, and then come back here. Well, the good news is that I think I found my spot. The bad news is that I just don't know if I should set up here yet or wait until later. I don't know what that dude is doing. Is he camping in the bushes? Like, stuff like that could happen. So let me ponder what to do, and I'll get back at you. See, right back there is like a road. So potentially the workers could be driving the truck that I saw that they were in on this road back here. Potentially that guy with that dog could walk back here. But I'll show you the spot.
She discovered a secluded clearing in a wooded patch, perfect for her trekking pole tent. However, the presence of a mysterious wanderer with a dog forced her to pivot. She spent the day assessing her surroundings, waiting for the cover of darkness to secure her spot while workers and visitors lingered nearby.
And hopefully they're not gone. Oh my gosh. The truck is still there, so sketch. Gosh, you guys, this night just keeps getting weirder. So there is this space. There's like these bushes here, and there's a building here. And I thought, oh, this is a good like incognito spot. I'm hearing music coming from that building. Can you hear it? So that's obviously not gonna work. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? That's so insane. Okay. I'm in front of the cemetery. It's behind me. There's no graves on this plot of land. They're all back there and not here. I'm very much out in the open. This definitely wasn't what the original plan was, but we have darkness on our side. I actually went over to the original spot, but it just felt too secluded and creepy. And like if that dude and his dog was roaming around, I'd rather be in the open. There's lights back there, and it's just not as sketchy as being super secluded with someone knowing where I am super secluded. We're out in the open. Maybe not a stealth. Oh, this camp is getting so weird. But I'm about to set up my tent, so we'll see what happens.
When night finally fell, she abandoned her original secluded location for the open front section of the cemetery. Despite the exposure, she found a strange, grim comfort in the solitude, preparing to spend the night among the headstones.
Night is pretty simple, luckily. I hope to cook this as soon as possible. We are making grilled cheese. Oh yes. And these were my last pieces, but don't worry. I ate the ends. So these are nice, not end pieces. Before I turn the flame on, let's butter it up. Let's get it ready, because I know it'll go quickly. Oh no, my butter's still kind of like hard. Darn. I don't think I took it out of the fridge soon enough, so it's super hard. All right, I can't be messing around with that right now. We're just gonna have to make the grilled cheese in the pan, not like totally buttered on each side first. Just gonna get buttered from the pan, basically. Okay. And then to go inside, obviously we've got cheese. This is from Trader Joe's. It's New Zealand, organic, pasture raised. Uh-oh. And then I also have some sun-dried tomatoes to put in there. Yum. I love sun-dried tomatoes. This pan. It's burning. It's smoking. Oh my goodness. So what do you think? Am I creeped out being here? In a graveyard? That I'm gonna sleep in a graveyard. I know people who have seen spirits in graveyards, or ghosts, whatever they were. So who knows what could happen? I think I need to flip this already. All right, I'm gonna put more butter. I'm just gonna have to put all this in here. I don't know. I'm gonna have to wing it. I have something else to add to the pan in a second. I'll just put that on top of there. Yeah, definitely needed to flip already. The cheese wasn't melted enough to flip, but the bread was, but it didn't burn yet. All right, that's a good sign. And then while that's going, I'm just gonna add peas to the pan with the grilled cheese. It's just all going in at once. We're crazy. We're crazy in the kitchen. Yeah. And then the butter will like spread out, get in the peas. So yeah, if any sort of, there's a car. Oh boy. Here we go, someone is here. Someone like stopped right there, but they haven't said anything yet. So I'm not sure. The wind blew that out. I'm just gonna add some salt and pepper. The wind. I have no idea why a car pulled up right there and it's just there and hasn't said anything. Hello? That's so weird. Wow, they walked that way. That is so wild. Maybe they're just really here to just visit a grave and didn't know I was here. Anyways, it looks ready. All right, peas taste good. Crazy. They didn't even say anything, they just got out. Pulled up, got out, went over there. All right, well, let's turn this off while I still have some good luck. Oh my goodness. Let me just show you what I mean. So I'm right here. That car, you see it? It's right here. It pulled up like right next to me. I think it's just here to visit a grave and not bothering me, so that's nice. But given that there is someone out there right now, I think I'm just gonna enjoy this, turn the light off and eat it, but I'll show you real quick. My grilled cheese. Oh yes! Should we try it? Oh my God. I'd say the peas could use some more cooking, but all in all, not bad. Just really good. When that car pulled up, I thought it was likely someone coming to hassle me, but it was actually a grieving man. I think he was just in his own little world, but I heard him.
She cooked a quiet meal in the shadows, momentarily rattled when a car pulled up. It turned out to be a grieving visitor, a somber reminder of the site's true purpose.
I'm awake. I can hear the road in front of me getting quite a bit more busy, so I feel like it's time to get up and get moving here. I had a pretty restless sleep. There was a tiny bit of rain. There's cars going by. People can see this light. Oh my. But it got a little bit windy. I don't know how this tent is going to do in the wind. I stayed super dry. It honestly barely rained, so I have to test this out under the rain to see if it's really going to work in the rain. I stayed super warm, super cozy with a low of 46 degrees. It's not exactly hard to figure out why. It just didn't get that cold. This is a 0-degree quilt, but in 38, 39 degree weather, I am cold. I'm trying to figure out how to stay warm, but super warm and toasty. Nothing spooky happened. No ghost encounters. Maybe just a little bit of spooky wind. But to be honest with you guys, before I went to bed, I was just laying here and I was like, wow, there's a lot of like dead bodies behind me. I was like, what if there are ghosts around here? What if something happens? But nothing happened. So, all right, I think it's time to pack up. Can you hear all that road noise out there? I've got my little microphone. Where is it? By the way, did I mention this earlier? That I got the part from my microphone in my last video. My microphone broke. You guys saw. If you saw my last video, you saw that my microphone broke. It was super great because Amazon Prime was actually my camera. It was super great because Amazon Prime offered me $1.99 for a week of Prime, and so I did that, which you got to be careful to cancel. If you don't do Prime and you get those little bonuses, sometimes you have to make sure to cancel before it's auto renews and charges you more. But yeah, it came like the next day. So I got it super quick. Packed up, taken off. Bye-bye, cemetery. It's been real. Oh my goodness. Sorry I leave sometimes before it gets light out. It's just given the nature of sleeping in these strange places. Sometimes I've got to leave early. I think it'll be different in the summer because the sun comes up so much earlier. Like right now, it would be getting light. So we're just in winter right now, so that's just what's going on. But it's like 5:20 in the morning, and I'm headed back to my car. Oh. Wow, my car says it's 51 degrees. 5:30 at 51 degrees. No wonder I was so warm and toasty. 51 degrees is all good. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was actually a requested video.
Morning broke early, and she packed up under the cover of darkness. She left the cemetery behind, unscathed and undisturbed by the spirits she had prepared to face. Solo traveler and van lifer Amia, host of the channel Strange Days Diaries, set out for a typical day off in her 1990s Chevy Astro van, Spec. She hoped for a relaxing coastal escape in California, but the outing was shadowed by a deeply unsettling encounter.
By a McDonald's. It's like, I don't know, a mile away from this spot is a McDonald's, or like 2 miles. As I'm driving by the McDonald's, I like made eye contact with somebody who was pulling out of the McDonald's. I didn't mean to, but I guess I did. And I saw him just like make eye contact with me and zoom behind me and follow me. And he followed me all the way up here. And this spot, there's like it's like hard to describe. Maybe I can, oh yeah, you can kind of see it. Okay, so over there, it's like a dead end kind of thing, like with a gate, and that's where I go up there and I turn around there. so that I can park here. That's what I do every single time. And nobody else does that. And I do that. And he even follows me up there and around. And right now I parked and I saw him pull up to spec. And then he just was staring at me and I wasn't making eye contact. And then he just zoomed off. So I don't know what that was all about. It's obviously super creepy and I hated every second of it, but whatever, he's gone and maybe he knew me. I don't know. It's just so weird and creepy. But anyways, we're good. So yeah. Oh my gosh, there's a really cute dog walking by. Okay, so first order of business is I'm actually starving, so I'm gonna make some food. It's about, I think, 10 a.m. right now. I also feel kind of bad because I'm such a meal repeater. Like when I find something that I like, I'm gonna eat it all the time until I literally burn myself out on it. So right now I'm on a really big breakfast sandwich kick and I can't stop it. Like I'm obsessed with breakfast sandwiches right now. Okay, so I have everything prepped and ready. I have my pan, my stove, I have all the things for the breakfast sandwich. I have a bagel, turkey, cheese, 2 eggs. I eat it with my favorite Green Dragon hot sauce from Trader Joe's. I cook it with this cooking spray. Utensils, we got this. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. As I started cooking breakfast, I just kept thinking about the guy in the blue car and really hoping he wouldn't come back. So I just focused on making my delicious breakfast sandwich. And of course, I cracked my side window for some ventilation since I was using the stove in my van. So something I noticed as I'm cooking is the creepy guy in the blue car is back. So that sucks. I hope that it's nothing and that I'm just...
While driving to her favorite secluded spot, Amia realized she was being trailed by a man in a blue car. After she parked at a dead end, the man pulled up, stared at her, and circled her van.
I think I still will. Like, I'm not gonna let this totally affect me, but I'm just gonna have to keep my wits about me, I think. And I also think I have to close my curtain now, which I didn't want to do because I like hanging out with, you know, windows, doors, curtains open, but he could be just like sitting there staring at me in his like rearview mirror for all I know. I don't know, but whatever. Also, I burned my egg. It's okay. We're gonna have a good day, nevertheless. All right, my beautiful sandwich is all done. It looks so good. Oh my gosh, a helicopter is going by. So yes, I can't wait. All right, let's cut into this baby. Oh my gosh. I love these sandwiches so much and they're so simple to make. It's insane. It hits the spot every time, without fail. Every time, especially with this sauce. All done. It was so good. And so now I'm gonna clean up my kitchen, my pan, stove, kitchen stuff, and make some coffee. I figure while I'm cleaning up, I can chat a little bit about being a girl on the road. I don't know. It's a whole thing. My most viewed video is my creepy experiences as a solo female van lifer. And I talk all about my creepy experiences on the road. And you may have actually found my channel through that video. So what's up? I was not expecting that video to be the one that got the most views, but here we are. There's some crazy stories in there, but all in all, I feel super safe on the road. I do travel alone. I don't feel in danger, except for very rarely. And that's because I take a lot of precautions, and I could get into like my precautions and all of that, but I mean, just to name a couple, like I am always on the move. I never post in real time where I am, stuff like that, and just other precautions in general. I have to take a lot more precautions than men on the road, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's the case. And it does suck sometimes, but it never limits me. Like I never allow creepy people or men who follow me, which happens on the road or not. Like my home is San Francisco, and I've been followed so many times on the streets of San Francisco, streets of LA, Seattle, you know, and I feel like that's a reality for a lot of women, whether you're on the road or just literally walking to a grocery store. It doesn't matter. You just gotta always have your wits about you, and it's a sucky reality for us girls out there, whether you're on the road or not. I definitely am not freaked out by this weird random person who followed me up here. I do have a weird feeling about it. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I'm a big go with your gut kind of girl. And if I have a weird feeling, like a weird gut feeling, then I listen to it. And I definitely have a weird feeling about them. And there's no reason to come up here unless you're hiking, or there's a big paraglider club, I think, that comes out here. Or unless you're a van lifer or someone in an RV or a truck and you want to hang out in your rig all day like me. And I say all of that because I've not seen them get out of their rig at all. And I also think it's too...
Amia felt her vulnerability as a solo woman on the road. She kept her curtains drawn, sacrificing her view to avoid being a target.
I noticed the guy in the blue car who I've been talking about this whole time get out and just stare at me. He walked around the car and all of that, and it totally unnerved me. And then before I know it, I see him just drive off.
So I just watched that guy who I've been talking about this whole time in the blue car. I swear to God, he's been just sitting in, it turns out it was just one guy, not two guys. But like the whole time that I was making breakfast, doing my nails, all of that, I was like checking and just monitoring him and seeing what he was doing. And he never got out once. He always sat in the car and he always had his hand up. I swear to God, he had like, he was filming me or something. I'm not sure. It was so weird. I don't know. Who freaking knows? And I kept telling myself like, it's probably nothing. It's probably nothing. But again, the gut feeling. And anyways, the entire time I'm making breakfast, chilling in the van, he was in his car. And then right now, when I got out and went to the back to get my stickers, I came back and I've been sitting in the cab for like a couple minutes. And right after I filmed that clip of me saying like what I'm gonna do with the stickers and all of that, I shut my camera off and I looked up and I saw him like open his door, and he had been in the passenger seat, which I had seen already. That's why I thought there were two people, because I noticed somebody in the passenger seat like an hour ago. Anyways, I see him right now get out of the passenger seat and walk around his car to the driver's seat. And as he was walking around the car, he's just staring at me the entire time, staring at me. He gets in the driver's seat, turns the car on and drives away. And it's just so weird that like he tailgates me in here, follows me, gives me a heavy like crazy look as he's following me, tailing me, drives by me, and I thought he goes away. Then like as I told you, he came back and he just sat in his car and he didn't leave until I got out, and like he saw me get out, because I had not gotten out of my van at all until right now when I got the stickers. And of course, now that he's seen me get out and like seen me outside of the van, that's when he leaves. And I'll be so curious to see if he comes back, but it's just so weird.
The tension reached a breaking point when she stepped out to grab gear. Only then did the man exit his vehicle, stare at her, and finally drive away.
Like I said, it is my only day off this week, so I'm trying to like really relax and save my energy and rest up a little bit. And number two, I am still a little sketched out by that guy that followed me earlier, and it's just been on my mind all day. It wasn't anything insane, obviously, but I don't know if he's still lurking around or if he came back and I didn't notice, that kind of thing. And I just don't feel the comfiest leaving my van and going on a super long walk or hike way out of eyesight of my van right now. That's just, to be honest, that's just how I feel right now. So I'm just gonna listen to my gut feeling and not wander too far. Plus I have some other things that I really need to get done today that I'm excited to do actually. So I'm gonna focus on those little tasks and just continue chilling in the van.
Even though my walk was short, I did enjoy getting outside and being in the sunshine, but I also realized it'd been hours since I'd eaten and I was getting kind of hungry. So I decided to snack on a sumo orange, and I also picked up these insanely good chocolate chip muffins from Whole Foods the other day, so I decided to enjoy one of those as well. After snacking a little bit, I opened up my sketchbook to begin a little bit of a crafty project that's been on my task list for about a week now. A fun fact about me is that you can always catch me journaling or drawing almost on a daily basis. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite forms of self-expression, and I especially love it when I'm making something for someone else.
Hello, so I just finished making that fun envelope for a very special letter for a very special person, and he does watch these videos, so I'm not going to show much more, but I did show this part in the last clip like you saw, and then I sealed up the envelope, which it was an envelope by the way that I was making. I sealed up the envelope with a random sticker that I just had in my sticker collection, so I'll be giving him this letter very soon. And yeah, it's about 4 o'clock now, and I think I'm honestly gonna spend the rest of the day editing and just relaxing. I really deserve a super relaxing day in my opinion, and this, like I've said 100 times, is my only day off this week, so I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my day, and I think I'm gonna end the vlog here. Thank you so much for watching. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate it so much. You mean the world to me. I'm loving this YouTube channel and the way that it's going, and please leave a comment below with what your favorite part is and any advice for me regarding that really weird random guy, like what your opinion was of him. I don't know what to think still, and I'm probably gonna head out actually and go to a new spot sooner rather than later, just to prevent any risk of him coming back in like.
Amia cut her walk short, opting to stay near the safety of her van. She spent the afternoon journaling and resting, realizing that her intuition, her greatest tool, had successfully guided her through a potentially dangerous day.